Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. I'm not even going to preface it necessarily. Shout out to Kendra G. Let's go. You can hear the foolishness for yourself.
What's your name, baby?
Genesis.
Genesis, where are you calling me from?
California.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
You have any children?
I do. I have 3. I have an 18-year-old son who lives with his dad in Arizona, or hopefully in college. And then I have my little girls who are 7 and 4.
Okay. So by 2 men?
No, 3. Mm-hmm.
3 men. Why are you not with the man you had a 4-year-old baby with?
Oh, we were married and we were divorced. He wanted to be with somebody else, so I let him.
Okay. So you got divorced recently?
No, it was in 2021 of September. And then he was married in December of 2021 with a baby on the way. So
now, usually I let these videos play all the way through, but I'm going to pause this one, right? Because she says she had 3 children, the oldest of which is 18 and lives with his father in Arizona, and hopefully he's in college. So you don't know the status of this boy. Did y'all hear that? You don't know the actual status of this young man, which is probably may or may not be for the best. We don't know, right? Then you've got a 7 and a 3-year-old, a 7 and a 4-year or 4-year-old. I think she's at 3 or 4. And so you're not with, so these are 3 different men. Mind you, these are 3 different men. But as you'll hear, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all catch it. These are 3 different men. She has 3 ex-husbands, but the math still won't math, right? And she's saying that the last child that she was married to that father, but he quote unquote wanted to be with someone else, so she let him, which means that maybe there was an affair, possibly, or whatever. We don't know the exact thing. It sounds like he found another woman. Just keep listening.
That's a lot. So he cheated on you.
I don't know what he want to call it, but it is what it is.
Okay. Fair enough. Sorry you went through that.
It's all good. It's like,
okay. How many times have you been married?
I've been married 3 times.
So you were married to all your children's dads?
No, just one of them, my little baby.
Did you hear it? She had 3 husbands. She has 3 children. But those husbands are not the fathers of those children, except for the last one. So there are at least 2 other men in this equation, which would be the fathers of the first 2, which are different than the last other 2 men that she married. You seeing this? So the oldest child's father, she was never married to him. And in the middle child's father, she wasn't married to him. She was only married to the last child's father. So she had 2 children by 2 men and then ended up married to 2 other men. I told y'all the math wasn't gonna math. You would think, just like Kendra G thought, that the children lined up with the dads. But no, they don't.
When did you get divorced last? Was it your baby?
The 2021.
Okay, so why did you get divorced in the other 2 marriages?
The same. Well, not the same. The first one was when I was really young, 2009. We both were in the military, and the military life is not friendly. And it's like the Real Housewives on crack. Like, it's a whole reality show in itself. And he was a habitual cheater. Like, one of my friends called me one time and she's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, girl, what? She was like, why did your husband tell people that you died in a car accident? So I'm hopping on my car, checking brakes, checking everything.
Your husband told people that you died?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And these are not even half stories. These are like little snippets and little snips and snaps. And who knows what's true, what's not. This one is a walking red flag. You have had 5 different relationships. 5. Not 3, 5. None of them men wanted you. The baby daddies, you was never married to them. And the 3 men that you did get married to all cheated on you. And none of this is your fault. You're not the common denominator in any of it. Correct? Is that what we're supposed to pull from this? Are we supposed to come away with the understanding that it was all these trash men that you kept running into, all the trash you got all the trash. And these trash men were lying, cheating, whatever it was that they were doing to innocent little you. You had no, hand in any of this. None of this. You didn't play a part. You didn't play any significant role in any of it. These men just were lies and habitual cheaters and stuff. And they just cheated on you and, telling heinous lies. And, from what you just said, your first husband told people you were dead, blah, blah, blah. And, you had to leave these situations because what woman in her right mind stays with men that do this type of stuff? Innocent little woman like you. That's the one thing that I always say. When marriages fall apart, it is never just one person's fault, ever. It is very, very rare that the marriage was fine and then one person did something so egregious that it just broke the marriage and put it in a state where it couldn't be salvaged and it couldn't be retrieved. But there's usually a lead up. And both people, no matter how innocent you think you are in it, because everybody's the victim. Everybody's the victim in their story. They're never the villain in their own story, right? And this goes for men and women, because being a coach, I've heard it all, okay? And nobody thinks they're the villain in the story. Nobody. It's always the other person's fault completely. And any contribution that they did is so small and inconsequential that it shouldn't have affected anything. And so the other person is their fault that the marriage is going bad or that it broke or that, you know what I'm saying? And I am just a big proponent of, if you were together, especially for years, and the marriage deteriorates and it breaks, it is never just 100% one person is evil and the other person is an angel. You're not. You contributed, whether you know how you contributed, whatever you think about your contribution to it, whether you think it was not so big of a deal or it shouldn't have been a big deal or it shouldn't have been, whatever it is, you contribute to that. If your marriage is on the rocks and it's been on the rocks, you're contributing somehow to it. You are. You may not think you are, but you are. You are. And if you dig down and you dig deep enough, you'll find what you're doing to help it along. Because you can't be in a relationship that you ain't got nothing to do with. You can't be in a relationship, in a marriage, and you just ain't got nothing to do with this. You don't got nothing to do with how it's turning out. You just there along for the ride, and you a neutral party. You can't be a neutral party in your relationship. You can't. You cannot be a neutral party. You either contributing negatively to it, or you're passively contributing to it, or you are enabling somehow, allowing things to happen, and then getting mad that the things are happening. Come on. I don't watch people too long. And she's a victim in her own story, as per usual. And this is mostly with females. Mostly the women are always the victims. I'm gonna let it finish though.
It was crazy.
That's a lot, girl. What kind of man you looking for?
I'm a God-fearing man that actually walk the walk and talk the talk. There's a lot of men who say they believe but don't want to actually practice what they believe in. Or if I tell them like, oh, I'm not sexually active, I'm just waiting because I want to honor God. And they're like, oh, well, don't you got 3 kids? Don't you have 3 baby daddies? I say, yeah, I used to steal too. Should I keep doing that? Should I still do, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the only thing I'm supposed to give up is my yoni. Don't do nothing else bad. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. But once I gave away the, the stuff, I'm supposed to just give it to anybody who want it. You get some. You get some. No. And I'm like, I'm 39. I only got a few good years left on this thing. I got to give it to my husband.
So you're not having sex again until you're married?
Right.
Did you hear that foolishness? And chicks be having a real interesting way to turn stuff and flip narratives and things of that nature. Because there is a such thing as, just because I was doing something in the past doesn't mean that I should continue to do it, especially if that thing was wrong. And I know that that thing was wrong. The only problem with that in this particular case is that you didn't just have one kid a long time ago, and you just didn't repeat that because the lesson was learned there. Like, nope. You know what I'm saying? I made a series of bad decisions and it ended up in an unfavorable position for me. I'm not gonna, you know what? I learned from that. I'm not going to make those choices anymore. So I'm going to make different choices so that I can have different outcomes. There is a such thing as that, right? Just like a dude that, you know what I'm saying, only dealt with chicks that, you know what I'm saying, do him dirty because these are the types of chicks he was attracting. At some point, if you're going to learn that lesson, you got to figure out how not to attract these chicks, right? You got to figure out how to attract a different type of chick. And so it wouldn't be fair to say, well, you've been dealing with them type of chicks, so don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't come over here trying to deal with a better type of chick. No, go back over there. You got 3 baby mamas, so you keep doing that. Right? You keep doing that. You don't try to change it. There's some validity to that concept. But what I don't like is when it's being used the way it's being used here with what she's saying. Ma'am, you don't have a lot of care for your body and your yoni, as you call it. Because if you had a lot of care, especially about what God thought about it, then you wouldn't have had 2 children out of wedlock to begin with. Right? And then you're in a constant state of divorce with past husbands. What sanction is that for that? You understand what I'm saying? And then how she's wording it. Like, I just got a problem with that whole thing because, I'm 39. I only got a few years left on this thing, and I got to give that to my husband so he gets your leftovers. So the 4th victim that you are going to claim is going to get literally the leftovers, literally the crumbs on the table, because the cookies are gone. So there's just crumbs now, and you're going to give those to him because that's what he deserves. Is that what he deserved, or is that just all that you have left? That's all that you are now, is the crumbs on the table. See how, and she not even thinking about it from that standpoint. She not thinking about what she just said. That the man that you want, that honor God and that do this and that do that and walk the walk a walk you don't walk. And there's always an excuse for why you don't continue to do or show the discipline to do what it is that God wants you to do. I hate when people bring God into stuff. Like, don't be bringing God into your foolishness, man. If you're going to be doing foolishness, do it. But do not try to bring the Lord into it. Like, this is your foolishness, not his foolishness. He's not co-signing your foolishness. You're just doing it. So do that. So, you know what I'm saying? Be real with that.
How long you been celibate for?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Oh, so you already pretty much answered the question that people are gonna say. You've been married 3 times, by 3 men. Were you celibate before those marriages?
My last one, yes, but we all sin and fall short of God's glory, which is another reason why I actually did marry the other ones, because I can't live in sin. I don't know how people do it. Like, just is able to do it. I can't. It's just not for me. So I would give people chances, but yes, in between times I am.
Okay, you are. Okay, so non-negotiable, no sex unless you become a wife again. Okay. Any other?
Well, I am a wife, because he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So I am a wife already. I just need my husband to find me.
Oh, okay. So you are a wife in this moment. You just are waiting for the 4th man to marry you.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Divine Photo says, if you have to say you are a wife, then you are a wife. Actions speak louder than words. Well, I mean, she's been married 3 times. She is. I mean,
I'm a wife. How many times have you been married? And I'm not saying that I'm a wife. The word says I'm a wife, because the word says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So you're a wife before you already are one. I mean, maybe you're not Christian, so maybe you didn't know that. So I do take that back. But the word tells us he who finds a wife finds a good thing. That means I have to be a wife for somebody to find a wife. That's where I'm going with that.
Lady Wisdom 27
on
the
Kendra all natural, no filters, no weaves. I'm just saying.
That was okay.
Not you, not to you.
So again, pulling God into your foolishness, I don't like it. You know, I'm not Christian anymore, but I don't like the misuse of and the twisting of any book, the Bible, the Quran, none of it. Like, leave it alone. If you don't really try to live by it, you don't do your best to try to really live like that, like pulling it out when it's convenient for you, I can't respect that. I don't really respect that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he who findeth the wife findeth a good thing, but have you been a good thing? They've been marrying you, but have you been a good thing? See, the track record is still bad. And that's what she's not understanding. You can get in the door, but you can't stay in the house. See what I'm saying? Like, you can get in there, but you can't stay there. That's where the real work is at. The real work is staying. The real work is making the marriage actually work. And so you're unable to come somewhere and tell somebody that the 3 marriages and 2 other relationships besides were unable to work because it was somebody else's problem, because you're not involved. And this is why I went on the rant earlier in the video about you can't be in these relationships passively, like you ain't got nothing to do with the outcome of them. You do. You got something to do with the outcome of them. No matter how innocent you think you have been. Okay? That there was some enabling, there was an overlooking of a red flag, it was something. It was something that you need to address. A 4th husband is not what you need. if you really gonna sit here and spout, you know what I'm saying, Bible verses and all, you really need to have the introspection and the spiritual connection to really live that, because you apparently have not been the good thing. Because if you was the type of woman that you was really sitting here claiming that you are, you know what I'm saying, then God would send you the type of man that would honor that. But you picking these men. God is not picking these men. You doing it, and you picking it off of whatever other criteria you picking them for, not the criteria that God said they supposed to be. So you putting God in it when it's convenient for you, and then you taking him out of it when your coochie get hot. Don't play with me. That's what you're doing. Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.